forecast calls for about 60% chance of rain as we will get some remnants of the outer bands of Tropical Storm Fred, Tropical Depression Grace right behind him, coming through the Gulf as well sometime this week. And then there's another tropical disturbance that they're looking at that could cause us issues by next weekend. Galen Unall joins us every morning as he does. Brought to you by the good folks at Palm Garden. We'd like to thank Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center. They're located at 2700 Southwest 34th Street. They offer skilled nursing, physical, occupational, and speech therapy. If you have any questions how they're handling the COVID-19 pandemic, give them a call at 352-854-6262. Penn Flooring, family-owned and operated, serving Marion County for over 30-plus years. They owe every bit of their success to their unrivaled customer service. They have experience in both commercial and residential flooring fields. Go see their showroom at 1201 Southwest 17th Street here in Ocala, or give them a call at 352-351-3420. And then, of course, Just Shipped. They've flipped the script on shipping. They come to you instead of you coming to them. You just set up an appointment. They come pick up your item. They package it. They put the postage on it. All you do is pay a small pickup fee plus the postage, and you don't have to deal with the headaches of any of the time and effort put into boxing it up or standing in line to ship it. That's Just Shipped. Go to justshipped.net for more information. Galen, good morning to you.
Hey, what's going on? How are you this morning, Tom?
I'm not a military guy, so I don't think I would be as upset as some military guys, but I'm a little upset with the way that I know some people. I lost some buddies that went to Afghanistan and didn't come back, and I know some friends of mine who have lost buddies that went to Afghanistan and didn't come back. I know friends of mine who went to Afghanistan, did a couple tours there, and talked about how if we didn't stay longer, it was going to go right back to ruled by a terrorist group, the Taliban, and that it wouldn't take more than 3 or 4 weeks to happen. And lo and behold, Joe Biden said 2 months ago we're taking all our troops out by the end of August, and Kabul, the capital of Afghanistan, fell yesterday, and Afghanistan is now back in Taliban control. And there's some concern all the Americans might not get out. I'm not a military guy, so I'm probably not as aggravated as I should be. But I'd got some buddies that were last night on Facebook that got put in Facebook jail pretty quick for the stuff they were saying about how they lost limbs and they lost loved ones and they lost brothers, and all for naught, that this is worse than even the troop withdrawal from Saigon. I didn't think I would hear that in our history anytime soon, that this was worse than the retreat from Saigon.
Well, I don't know. I read this and I'm just dumbfounded by it. I'm not a big fan of having troops in a country where we're not necessarily wanted. And the one thing about Afghanistan is we never really got a clear picture of what it was like. And it's much like Vietnam, right? You don't really know what it was like on the ground in that country. What kind of support were we getting? Who liked us, who didn't? So I don't really know what the long-term plan was. Were we just going to stay there forever? Was that a viable option? I mean, now they're back to 6,000 troops in Afghanistan,
right?
And we're almost like starting over. So in Iraq, everything made a little bit more sense because we allowed a government to be placed in there. When we went to Kuwait, there was a very clear goal. Obviously, we were just trying to push Saddam back to his own country, and now we have an Air Force base right there in Kuwait. So there's a lot of things about this that just don't make sense. I think what hurts is that, when the Secretary of Defense comes out and says, he basically said the Afghanistan army has no backbone and no will. And that's a little shocking to me. So I read this and I just don't think I know enough to really talk negatively about it. I think we can all agree it's a big, the border issue's big, the COVID thing's big, the economy's big. But again, we are going back to President Carter, and this could be his Iran now.
Well,
right?
I know
mean,
this. I know that the Taliban were a big supporter and helped hide for a very long time bin Laden, the man responsible for 9/11, the man who put 9/11 into play.
Sure.
I know that now that the Taliban is back in control, how many other terrorists are going to come out of Afghanistan that are going to be a lot more angry than bin Laden were, and how unsafe now are we as American people, not only just in America, but worldwide?
Yeah, I mean that's always been the thing. We want to fight the enemy on their ground, not on ours, right? I mean that's an art of war thing, and I get it. I completely understand it. But how many and this is the counter argument, but how many terrorists have we created by being in Afghanistan?
Certainly, that is a very valid argument.
The reason that Bin Laden hated us in the first place is because what we did to him in the '80s. Right, just bailed on him in the '80s. So this isn't the first time we've dealt with this, and we just can't seem to get it right. I don't know. I don't know what the solution is there. I hate that our men and women are making this of our military are making any kind of a sacrifice if this country doesn't really want us, and I haven't really seen much evidence that they do.
No, I don't think they didn't want the Russians there in the late 70s and early 80s. They didn't want us there for the past 25 years. I get that. But they can't, the trouble that brews out of that country with the terrorism that is supported, openly supported, and comes from that country with its eyes always seeming to be on the United States. I don't think that you need to go in there and just stay in there forever. I think you need to go in there and rid the countryside of anybody who's negative to the United States. I don't think we learned that lesson in Vietnam. In Vietnam, here I've done a lot of study, talked to a lot of people about Vietnam and all. The Vietnamese, North Vietnamese would come in and say, "Where's the Americans? We don't know." Bam, bullet to the head. Where's the Americans? We don't know. Bam, bullet to the head. Where's the Americans? Third Street on the left. They're doing a road check down there. And so the Vietnamese dealt in that kind of way. And that's when you deal with people who have in my opinion, when you deal with people who have no love of life, who will strap explosives onto themselves to kill themselves and as many other people as they can take with them, the art of war or the rules of engagement, to me, all that goes out the window when you're dealing with somebody who will strap bombs on and blow up children and women and everything just because they want to get an American. I've said it the whole time. We went about it the wrong way, which should not have been a going in and trying to hold up the Afghan government. It should have been an extermination move, in my opinion. And that's just me. If you got a problem with that, Tom at WOCA.com. But it's always been that way with me.
That's what the military's purpose is.
I know.
The military's purpose is. And a couple of things about Vietnam. We never lost a single battle in Vietnam. The will of the American people is what lost the Vietnam War. Right? I mean, that's just what it was. The will of the American people are no longer willing to make that fight. And you can make the same argument for Afghanistan. And when you look at public polling, the people were against us being in Afghanistan, and I'm one of them.
100%.
But at the same time, I don't know what the exit strategy is, because I don't know how you make an exit strategy for somebody else's country that you've been propping up.
Well, God forbid.
And all these people do is they hide. All these people do is hide in the mountains.
Right.
And you're talking about brewing terrorism. We're the ones who give them the ingredients to brew it.
Well, right now they have all kind of weapons and everything that we left behind. They have all those weapons now and everything.
Okay, agreed. We created this monster. So why did we go to Afghanistan in the first place?
To rid us of bin Laden. They said to go get bin Laden was why we went to Afghanistan.
Okay, all right. No, we went there because that's where they were claiming George Bush II, right, was claiming that's where these terrorism was founded. Actually, it was from Saudi Arabia. When you look at who the terrorists are,
yes,
they were Saudi. And by the way, bin Laden is a Saudi who lived in Afghanistan, and that's where he became a recluse when he did the whole thing with the USS. Oh gosh,
Cole.
the name of the ship, right? Cole.
USS Cole.
He was in Saudi Arabia. All this funding came from Saudi Arabia. So we went into Afghanistan as a proxy war. So now you have everybody who wants to be a terrorist. They just go to Afghanistan. That's what created this problem. Our exit strategy wasn't very good. We could not be there forever. There's no place for us there.
But my question is, what happens? What is the vernacular? What is the conversation? What is the discussion? God forbid, 5 years from now, when an elementary school is bombed, or a theater is bombed, and or a subway station in Atlanta is bombed, and the Taliban take credit for it, or terrorists supported by the Taliban take credit for it, then we go, well, you knew this was coming because we let them have the country back. You know that conversation is going to happen.
Yeah, but it could have already happened. I mean, you can't live in the world of what ifs. You just can't. Afghanistan at some point has to figure out Afghanistan. We just need to leave them alone, right? I mean, just leave them alone. That's always been my view. Why? I don't know why we went there the first time. I don't know why he felt the need to pull out these 7,000 troops, other than we have the embassy left behind that he seemed not to protect. I'm surprised he didn't send Hillary over there to say, "Oh, I'll protect the enemy or the embassy." Again, that should have all been taken into account, but it wasn't. So, and I get it. They're worried about everybody who helped the U.S. That's understandable. I don't. What's our long-term goal there? How many more Americans have to die for a country that really doesn't want what we're offering? It's against their culture. Our culture is in sharp contrast to their own. So, what are we bringing them?
Well, I don't think we bring them anything solid. I think that's why I said 25 years ago, if you'd have used an eradication mode instead of a prop up a government mode, I've always said, when dealing with people who do irrational things like blow themselves up to kill other people, the only thing that you can do with them is eradicate them. That's it. You can't reteach them. You can't train them. You can't, dead.
You would kill 6 million
dead
for the act of one person who's not even from Afghanistan.
Dead.
Just so we're clear, that you're willing to deal with that. You're willing to do more harm to a country than they could.
If that country supports terrorism that kills one American, dead.
What do you mean by? What do you mean by the country that supports it? Just because the
Taliban supported the Taliban, right? And they were the government at the time.
Well,
they were the government of Afghanistan at the time.
Guns, and they were not really. No, they weren't. The Taliban was never.
The fact that the Taliban is still there means that the mission that was unaccomplished, that the Americans, if there was ever a mission, and you're right, you are entirely correct.
No.
The water is clouded. The water is clouded.
We destroyed the Taliban twice.
No, we didn't, because they're still there.
And they come out of hiding. They just come out of hiding.
Well, then you didn't destroy them. You just beat them back into hiding.
You can't. Okay. Well, that's all you can expect. I mean, this is and the Taliban is not really. They're really a war nation. There's no real set government. They're warlords.
Yeah.
You're never going to eradicate Afghanistan.
Which is why I should never be in charge, because I would be flying drone sorties. I'd be dropping bombs left and right out of drones until there wasn't anybody left on the ground. That's just me. It's just how I would do it.
Yeah, well, all that does is brew more hatred, and it does no good. You got to win the hearts and minds of others. That's how you take over a culture and a country. You can't just eradicate them.
Parking lot.
You're not
Parking
the first
lot.
person to say that. They're all wrong. They're all wrong.
Parking lot.
You want our soldiers to become murderers. That's what you want.
If it's
You
taking
want
the
our men who serve.
if it's taking the lives of people who will senselessly take the lives of Americans, if one American life could be saved by taking out hundreds of thousands of Afghans, oh well, sorry about your luck.
No, that's not.
It's just my opinion. Just my opinion. Just my opinion.
They have no chance of hurting.
Well, we need to take a break. We need to take a break real quick. We'll be right back after this timeout. 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Are you or your loved one being released from a hospital and wondering how you'll manage? Inform your physician that you want to go to Palm Garden of Ocala at 2700 Southwest 34th Street for your rehabilitation. Palm Garden provides pain management, post-discharge follow-up, diabetic care, psychosocial support, and so much more. Plus, they even offer outpatient rehab. This award-winning care facility has a team of licensed professionals dedicated to enhancing your independence. Call 352-854-6262 today.
Are you wasting time boxing up packages and going to the post office or UPS store? Are you tired of not knowing what you'll pay when you get there? Just Ship offers pickup service and flat rate packaging and postage rates, which takes the guesswork out of shipping while saving you time and money. So quit wasting valuable time and money. Call or text Just Ship at 352-234-3840. That's 352-234-3840. Just Shipped.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
It's Monday. Not sure how you did it, but you actually survived an entire 2 days without hearing from Tom. Good job to you. And once again, good luck.
Welcome back to Ocala Talk on a Monday. Well, actually, countless American lives injured.
Gene Powell Pastamon, 352-629-2440. A few of our tractor services include bush hogging, disking, and rototilling. We also have zero-turn mowers for the smaller paddocks, aisleways, fence rows, and...
I need to temper it a little bit, and he's probably right. I'm probably a little overreacting because he is correct in this. Galen, I will tell you are correct in this. I don't believe there was ever a secure plan to go in, and there damn sure wasn't a good plan to come out.
Oh, no. I mean, we needed somebody to blame and somebody to fight after 9/11, aside from Iraq. And so that's why we went to Afghanistan. And that there's clear-cut evidence of that. All we're doing by being there is just making more terrorists. Well, just leave them alone. That's what my belief is on most things. Why are we in Afghanistan? And no one can give you a clear picture as to why, other than they'll just blame it on terrorism.
There is no natural resources there. There is no. You're right about that. It was the reason that we went into Afghanistan was strictly to get bin Laden and the people who supported him. That was the reason I believe was from the very beginning.
He was in Pakistan anyway. There's lots more evidence that he resided most of his time in Pakistan.
And that's where he was killed.
Than he did in Afghanistan. Well, there you go.
Hey, if you're trying to call in this morning, you'll have to wait till the 9 o'clock hour. Galen is on that line, so you'll have to wait. Sorry, we'll take your calls at 9 a.m.
So there you go. Again, to me, it's really cut and dry. We had to leave sometime. We could have had a better exit strategy, but it's really to sit and Monday morning quarterback. It's very, very simple.
Well, I just don't want to be at a baseball game and die because they blow up a stadium because the terrorists are back unfettered operating out of Afghanistan.
What if they came from China or Vietnam or Canada? Because, you can't trust the Canadians anyway. They would apologize profusely for it.
And who knows if they're coming over the southern border right now? Who knows?
Right. But for them to get here is not that easy. And by the way, the Taliban, they don't live in Afghanistan. That's just where they're fighting. They're from Iran. They're from Saudi Arabia. They're from Iraq, right? They are people who are finding a mission to destroy the Western culture.
Yep. You know what you get when you cross sand and oil, don't you? You put heat, sand, and oil together, you get asphalt. I'm okay with that.
All right.
Remember,
again, I just don't. I don't think that's what breeds terrorism. I think us being there is what breeds terrorism.
We don't have to be there. I don't think we have to be there. But I think as soon as there's any hint of terrorist activity that may be aimed towards the American people again, I think drones need to start flying sorties over and just carpet bombing. Done with you. Done. No troops on the ground. No troops on the ground. Here it comes.
We never stopped the drones.
Well, we still need to keep those over there, dropping bombs every day.
They leave from all over the place. So again, we need to get our people out, and then we need to get out. Just leave it.
By the way, if a Republican president had done this kind of exit strategy and it went so badly, I'd have been just as pissed off about that too. So let me just clear that up. Somebody text me, you wouldn't say this if it was Donald Trump. 100% I would. It doesn't matter. I think this exit strategy is terrible.
Well, Trump pulled all the troops out of Syria. He
did.
Scaled way back in Afghanistan. Scaled back in Iraq. So and by the way, Donald Trump agrees we shouldn't have troops in these countries all across the world. So at some point, they need to come home. That's all.
The problem is...
And again,
I agree we shouldn't have troops everywhere. But once you have them there, you just can't snatch them out like we did.
And the facts will come out. Just like Vietnam. Nobody really knew what the heck was going when we left Hanoi, right? We didn't really understand the situation on the ground for years. And it will take years before we understand the situation on the ground in Afghanistan. So, yeah, it's easy to armchair quarterback. I'm going to give the leaders of our military the benefit of the doubt that their intention wasn't to have all of this occur so they could go back in again. I just didn't think the Taliban would take back over that quickly. It was almost methodical. Well, I think anybody who underestimates these people and their vigor for their land is kind of silly. I mean, if you went into the woods with a bunch of rednecks, and then all of a sudden, oh, you're gone now? Well, I can take all my stuff back. That's what would happen. So, you have a valid point there. You have a valid point. Hey, Galen, we got to take a break. When we come back, we'll delve into the sports world. A little bit tightened up over the weekend in the sports world. Plus, there was a 6-person playoff at the Wyndham, which really was a good time. So we'll talk about that next. You're listening to 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Today in Ag News from the Southeast Ag Now, USDA's National Agricultural Statistics Service released their August crop reports last week, and they note all cotton production is forecast as 17.3 million 480-pound bales. That's up 18% from 2020 production. And now here in Florida, production is expected to total 140,000 bales. That's up 36% from last year.
I did 2 tours in Afghanistan in 2003, 2009.
Super
Unfortunately, the Biden administration is redefining the word incompetence. You've got Secretary Blinken and Secretary Austin. They need to tender their resignations right now. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Miley, he needs to go peel potatoes in the galley for about a month and then resign also. These folks' primary duty is to advise the President of the United States in diplomatic and military matters, and they've abjectly failed that. The national security architecture of the United States of America is clearly broken right now.
President Biden is scheduled to return from vacation on Wednesday. USA Radio News.
America, do you want to win the spiritual war against the demons currently attacking our land? Step 1 comes from the Bible. Lay down the law by resting on the law, and do your resting on our pillowcases printed with His 10 Commandments. Find them at ProjectPillowTalk.com. Don't sleep on this message. Go to ProjectPillowTalk.com or call us at 877-289-7439. When you call, ask to receive another powerful spiritual weapon, free. A CD packed with the secrets of forgiveness using all the instruments of praise written in the Bible. Free with your order of our 10 Commandment pillowcases from ProjectPillowTalk.com. Shipping is free too, so call or click 877-289-7439 or ProjectPillowTalk.com. Get your 10 Commandment pillowcases for only $29.95 per set and watch the darkness flee from the light.
Gene Powell, Past Des Moines, 352-629-2440. A few of our tractor services include bush hogging, disking, and rototilling. We also have zero-turn mowers for the smaller paddocks, aisleways, fence rows, and lawn care. Fence row spraying is also available for weed control. We are family-owned and operated, licensed and insured, and farm-ready. Powell Gene, Gene, at yahoo.com, 352-629-2440. Gene Powell, Past Des Moines, 352-629-2440. Gene is a proud United States veteran.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune in to Coasting into Retirement with Gary Marriage of Nature Coast Financial Advisors, Sunday mornings at 8 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Listen Sunday mornings at 8 to Coasting into Retirement with Gary Marriage of Nature Coast Financial Advisors.
Our firm offers insurance services.
Veterans Helping Veterans USA. Call 352-433-2320. We help veterans and their families with limited financial assistance, counseling, employment referrals, and a food and clothing bank. You can help in making a huge difference in the veterans' lives we serve by donating food, clothing, household items, or direct financial assistance. All donations are tax deductible. Veterans Helping Veterans USA. 352-433-2320. Thank you for your attention, and God bless America.
Keep up with what's going on in the downtown area with Ocala Downtown Newspaper. Delivering thousands of newspapers to businesses in the downtown area, Ocala Downtown is there to keep you informed. They even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about it. It's simple. For more info, just call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223, and pick up your copy of the Downtown Ocala newspaper today.
And now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
Johnny, what are you doing in the bathroom? What are you saying? Wait, where are your toy cars? Oh no, tell me you didn't. Honey, call Mike Scott Plumbing.
I didn't do anything.
For once, that's true, but little Johnny flushed his toys down the toilet and now it's broke.
Yes. No. I'll get the phone. What's the toll-free number?
866-314-4443.
Got it. 866-314-4443.
Mike Scott Plumbing. If water runs through it, they do it.
Think you know Dex Imaging? Think again. In the office, streamlining communications. In the field, delivering top-notch service, enhancing productivity, and reducing downtime. In the data center, a part of the growing digital document revolution. In the world of business, supporting entrepreneurs and helping companies grow. In the forefront of technology, developing cutting-edge document management solutions. So if you think you know Dex Imaging, you don't know Dex.